guys, this is the-epiphany. Today is going to be a special video where I compare the two servers Echo and Ilyzaelle, and the reason why I'm doing that is because a lot of people have asked me for my opinion on the two servers. It's now the 14th of April and there's currently a maintenance, so I'm going to be spending this time to record the video. And I want you to know that everything I say in this video is purely my opinion, and there's going to be a large amount of people who disagree with some of the things I say, but you know, it's my opinions. And before I go on to the video and compare the two servers, I have a few announcements to make. The first announcement is about Temperis. As you know, Temperis has been out for 2 weeks ago, and now that it's been out for 2 weeks, I've heard that the hype has actually gone down a bit and people are quitting it, and a lot of people are coming back to Ilyzaelle, Echo, and even the Jahash server. So the activity is increasing quite a lot for Echo and Ilyzaelle, especially because of this world health issue that's going around right now. A lot of people are staying home and playing Dofus. So in terms of the activity in both servers are pretty much, you know, alive. You know, like you wouldn't say any of the servers are dead, but overall Ilyzaelle does have a lot more people playing than Echo. But you know, they're still both very populated servers. The next announcement I'm going to make is to do with the Hyper Mage manifestation spell. There is a bug on this spell that's been around for 2 weeks, and I don't know if some of you guys have realized it or maybe you haven't, but when you are doing a PvP fight or any fight with a Hyper Mage in the fight, and the air manifestation or any type of manifestation, could be earth, water or fire, which is this thing looking circular looking thing here. If you put your mouse on that manifestation, then when it comes to your turn, you will not be able to use any MP. And this is confirmed. So as a Hyper Mage myself on the server Echo, I've been steering away from doing PvP on Echo purely because of the bug. And you know, as a Hyper Mage, I have to use manifestation because it's essential to my class. So I can't avoid that. But if you're not a Hyper Mage, then I highly recommend you do not put your mouse on the manifestation, because that's going to cause you to not be able to use any MP on your turn. If you did put your mouse on it by mistake, then quickly relog before your turn comes and you'll be able to move again. But this bug has been pissing me off greatly. I hope that they fix it in today's maintenance. Okay, so those are the two announcements for today, and let's get started on the video. In the video, I'm going to be comparing Echo and Ilyzaelle, and I'm going to be talking about the 3 components that are relevant to me, and these are the activities that I like to engage in Dofus. So as you are aware, PvP, maging, and hard PVM fights or quests, which comes in my playlist Dofus Miscellaneous. So the playlist here is any type of video I have that does not fall under the PvP and maging category. That will all be in this playlist. Oops. Okay, so starting off with PvP. Now, because of the health issue that's going around, the activity in terms of PvP in both Ilyzaelle and Echo are greatly increasing. And you know, people quitting Temperis now. The activity is very nice. Now, I want to mention that I have PvP'd on both servers, and in a nutshell, I'm going to say that the server Echo is highly toxic compared to Ilyzaelle when it comes to PvP. And the reason for that is, okay, so let's have a look at the servers in Echo first. Oh, sorry, the alliances in Echo first. So the server is being dominated by 2 alliances, Fallen Rise and Ragnarok. So Fallen Rise is Curse Alliance and Ragnarok is Rage Alliance. These 2 alliances pretty much hate each other, and you know, any PvP fight you get in, you know, like there's going to be some sort of beef. And, you know, the beef sometimes carries over to Discord as well. We have a PvP screens and drama chat here, which is highly toxic. At least once a week, there will be swearing, insults, and sometimes even racism in this chat. You know, a lot of people have complained to me since I'm an admin, and I've tried to stop it, but I can't do much. A lot of people have left the server because of it. Yeah, but that's basically how it is. And on a personal level, 90% of fights that I get in on Echo, I will be accused of multi-logging. You know, like, I don't know why, I just get accused of multi-logging. Like, it could be people from my guild who play with me, or even sometimes when I hunt a Perceptor that is, like, I'm in a team and the other 4 people in my team are not even in my vital guild. So, like, they're in a completely different guild. You know, I'll still be accused of multi-logging. I don't know why. But if I was to guess, I would guess that the enemy alliance, basically, you know, they can't come up with another excuse for losing, so they have to resort to, oh, you won the fight, so you multi-log. I don't know, but it's just, so that's one of the things that kind of annoys me. So that on top of the manifestation bug are 2 reasons why I've been steering away from PvP on the server Echo for a while now. But maybe when the manifestation bug is fixed and all of my friends on the server Temperance have gone back to Vital, then I'll get back into PvP there. Now, the Ilyzaelle server in PvP is a lot more, you know, nicer and well mannered. And the reason for that is because, firstly, the server is dominated by one alliance, which is Symbiose. And they basically own all the conquest villages and the important villages and prisms in the game. And, you know, the rest of the alliances, we just ignore Symbiose because they, you know, we pretty much can't beat them at anything. They are very, very high quality geared. You know, I tried applying for that alliance once as well, and they literally checked my gear to see, oh, I had to have an ebony, I had to have an ivory, and I had to explain or show some form of evidence as to, you know, the fact that I am PvP capable. So they only invite PvP players into Symbiose. But, you know, I thought that was a bit too strict, so I just screwed it and I joined Space Cowboys. Now, the main action is between Space Cowboys and the Impulse Alliance on the server Ilyzaelle, and the PvPs are quite excellent. You know, I've done about 20 or 30 fights, Perceptor fights now, and I've never seen any toxicity being, you know, like, never seen any insults flying or anything like that. And I've never ever been accused of multi-logging on the server Ilyzaelle either. You know, like, I just get into a group with, you know, some random guildmates or people in the alliance, and then we just have a good time and, you know, like some fun PvP fights. I might record some of these PvP fights in future and upload them with commentary, because every 5v5 fight that we do, we are actually in voice commentary. You know, we're in a voice call here. So, like, I asked permission for if anyone wants me to record a 5v5 fight with voices in it, and most people were saying yes, so hopefully I'll be able to upload those videos in the future. Yeah, but, you know, PvP on Ilyzaelle is a lot nicer, and I pretty much enjoyed there. Okay, so that's the PvP aspect there. And the next aspect is going to be the maging aspect of the game. Now, maging is my main source of karmas, and it's the thing that I do 90% of the time to make karmas, and it's very, very effective. And on the server Ilyzaelle, you know, it's highly populated, so items sell very, very quickly. And that's a very good thing because, you know, starting, I would define myself as a bit broke at the moment on Ilyzaelle. You know, like, I don't have like hundreds of millions of karmas like I do on Echo. But, you know, like, items selling quickly is how I get my karmas. I put the exo mages in the market, then I go to sleep at night. I wake up in the morning and it's sold, and there goes 20 million karmas into my bank. So it's quite nice. Yeah, but on Echo, it's apparently better now compared to before this world health issue started. The server was quite inactive back then. It's apparently better now. Um, items sell in a matter of a couple of days, but not as much, not as fast as on Ilyzaelle, obviously. But the items do sell quite fast on Echo as well. I'd estimate about a week or so. And yeah, but that's how it is, you know. Like, if from now on, whenever I mage, it's gonna be maging on Ilyzaelle, because Ilyzaelle items sell faster. And also to mention, the runes on Ilyzaelle are a lot cheaper than on Echo. So that's a good thing about Ilyzaelle compared to Echo in terms of maging. Okay, the final aspect is going to be PVM and group fights, quest fights, and whatever. The main difference between Echo and Ilyzaelle is obviously Echo you can play multiple accounts, and on Ilyzaelle you can only play one account. Now on Ilyzaelle, when you so obviously, since you play one account, if you want to do a dungeon, especially a hard one, you have to recruit, you know, like 3 people, so that you have a group of 4. And from my experience, you know, after being here for a month, I recruit in the recruitment chat, and people will always respond to me, you know, asking to invite a group and wanting to help me out run the dungeon and whatever. Whereas on Echo, if you're a solo account player and you ask on the Echo chat, recruitment chat, anyone want to help me for Royal Penguin dungeon or Royal Mastergob dungeon or some shit like that, you know, no one's going to reply to you, and you're going to be sitting there for like 30 minutes and, you know, spamming the recruitment chat, but no one's going to help you. And the reason for this is because of the fact that, you know, Echo is a multi-account server and Ilyzaelle is a solo account server. It's got to do with psychology. On Echo, you know, everyone, or not everyone, but most people who play there have their own team, and that means they will be using their team to do dungeons with themselves. So that leaves the solo players at a disadvantage, because when they ask for help, the other players won't help them, because when they need the dungeon, they'll just do it with their own team, you know, with their own characters. On Ilyzaelle, people are nicer because the psychology is what I just said. People are all solo players, so they're willing to help each other out because they know how difficult it is. I'm halfway through the Ebony Dofus questline now. I'm actually up to the quest where you face Dazak Freezhammer. And, you know, like, from every quest until now, it's been quite easy to get a group to run me through the dungeons. As opposed to on Echo, I had to pay people to, you know, get me through the dungeons for every single dungeon. Like, Cthulhu, Bethel Arcana, Dazak Freezhammer, Solar, Climb, what's the other one? Queen of Thieves, yeah. Because obviously I don't have a team on Echo. I have to, you know, like, pay people to get me through, and it's just ridiculous. So, if in terms of doing PVM, Ilyzaelle would definitely be the server, you know, that's more helpful and, you know, a very supportive environment. Okay, so that's PVM. Now, the last part of the video is going to be advice to new players who just are starting out and want to choose what server they want to join. Okay? Now, you need to consider the differences. Now, firstly, Echo multi-account, Ilyzaelle single account. And if you're starting new, I highly recommend Ilyzaelle, because you're going to be playing solo account. You know, if you're starting a new, you know, like, you're starting fresh, you're not going to be making 4 accounts and playing with yourself. That's just ridiculous. You're going to be playing one account, and you're going to be exploring. You're going to be working out the mechanics of the game. You're going to be earning karmas. You're going to be buying sets or leveling professions or earning a living. So you're not going to be doing that on 4 accounts if you start brand new in the game. Ilyzaelle is the one that you got to choose if you're starting fresh. And also, the prices of resources and items are cheaper overall on Ilyzaelle. For example, I had last night I had a run through of every single merchant in the Amakna village on both servers, and what I noticed is that the prices of eggs on Echo have actually gone up quite a lot, whereas the prices on Ilyzaelle have only gone up by 1 or 2 million. And this is because of the rising demand for PvP eggs. And specifically, you know that I'm talking about Ivory Dofus and Ebony Dofus. Ivory Dofus, the cheapest merchant I saw on Echo was 75 million. The cheapest Ebony I saw was 50 million. This is almost double the price compared to what it was 2 weeks ago. Whereas on Ilyzaelle, the price of an Ivory is 28 million and the price of an Ebony is 20 million. You know, so it's pretty cheap there. Now, in this final section of the video, I've pretty much just explained why Ilyzaelle has its advantages. But Ilyzaelle also has its disadvantages. The disadvantages pretty much only apply to the early, you know, like the early stages of the game, such as those first steps and earning a living. If you're going to, you know, collect wheat or iron or ashwood, it's almost impossible to do that on Ilyzaelle because the server is too populated. And there's a lot of bots going around and collecting those stuff. So whenever you go there and try and collect, most likely everything's already harvested. Echo doesn't have that problem because most people in Echo are pretty much end game, and the quality of players in Echo is also a bit higher than Ilyzaelle. So that's another advantage of Echo compared to Ilyzaelle. Because, you know, like on Ilyzaelle, you'll see a lot of people who are poor, and usually that's because a lot of people are low level and the quality of their gear is quite low as well. But obviously that's because Ilyzaelle is a solo account server, so it's technically harder to earn a living from the lower levels, you know, like when you're collecting resources and such. So yeah, in conclusion, I prefer PvP in the server Echo more than Ilyzaelle because the quality of the PvP is higher. Even though I get accused of multi-logging, and even though, you know, there's a lot of toxicity, but the quality of the PvP is higher in Echo, so I prefer that. But in terms of maging, I prefer Ilyzaelle. In terms of PVM, I prefer Ilyzaelle. And I recommend to the new players who are starting the game or joining the game to make a character on Ilyzaelle. Now, the question you might be thinking right now is, if I was to choose between Echo or Ilyzaelle, so I had to choose between one of them, and you know, like, I can't have both of them, which one would I choose? I actually had someone ask me this question yesterday, and you know, it was the first time in a while that I've had a question that I actually could not answer because it's such a difficult question to answer. You know, being a YouTuber, I get a lot of people asking me advice for PvP, PVM, maging, and all that content that I make. So I am quite knowledgeable, but this is the first time in a very long time that I actually could not think of an answer. You know, like I don't know whether I'd choose Ilyzaelle or Echo. You know, it's purely up to personal preference. And hopefully some of the ideas that I've discussed in today's video has helped you get an insight of the two servers. If you have any further questions on any aspect I've mentioned in this video, comment below and I'll be sure to answer it as detailed as I possibly can. Once again, everything I said in this video is personally my opinion. I hope you learned something about Echo and Ilyzaelle, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you at the next one.